The hidden patterns of female infidelity. Here's something that might surprise you. Women are generally better at hiding infidelity than men. Research consistently shows that female cheating often goes undetected longer. Understanding these patterns can help men recognize potential loyalty issues before they develop into full betrayals. Let's look at how affairs are typically discovered. Men's infidelity is frequently exposed through obvious mistakes, forgotten text messages, unexplained charges, or being spotted in public. Women, however, tend to get caught less often through these careless errors. Their affairs are more commonly revealed when they choose to confess or when the relationship has already broken down for other reasons. This difference in discovery patterns suggests women maintain greater caution when stepping outside their relationships. Women's social networks play a significant role in this concealment. While men might confide in one close friend about an affair, women often build more complex support systems. Female friends may cover for each other, providing alibis or sharing advice about avoiding detection. Consider how a group of friends might create a seemingly innocent girls' night that actually provides cover for meeting someone else, with everyone maintaining the same story if questions arise later. These networks create layers of protection that make affairs harder to discover. Digital communication patterns reveal another interesting difference. Male cheaters tend to create separate communication channels, but use them with less discipline, leaving apps open, forgetting to delete messages, or using obvious password patterns. Women typically maintain stricter boundaries between their primary relationship and outside communications. They're more likely to delete conversations immediately, use apps with disappearing messages, or maintain entirely separate digital identities. This technical discipline directly connects to their psychological approach to risk management. Psychological factors make women more cautious about exposure risks. The social consequences of female infidelity remain harsher in many communities, creating stronger incentives to avoid detection. Women typically consider the potential fallout more thoroughly before acting, which leads to more careful planning. This isn't about emotional manipulation, but rather risk assessment, weighing the potential consequences against desires. Women also manage emotional indicators differently. They often maintain normal relationship patterns even when engaged in affairs, continuing regular routines and emotional responses at home. This consistency makes it difficult for partners to spot the changes that might signal infidelity. Where men might withdraw physically or become defensive when cheating, women frequently compensate by maintaining their usual level of engagement. Opportunity differences significantly affect how cheating unfolds across genders. As one relationship expert noted, the average woman will have at least somebody will sleep with her. She doesn't have to have that much going for her. She can jump on an app and it's a bit easier for her, whereas for the average man it's not as easy. This reality means women have more potential partners available, creating more opportunities for connection outside their relationship. Men often miss the subtle signs of female detachment that precede physical cheating. While male infidelity sometimes begins with physical attraction that later develops emotional elements, women typically disconnect emotionally before seeking physical connections elsewhere. This emotional withdrawal happens in small, easily dismissed ways. Fewer personal conversations, less vulnerability, gradual withdrawal from shared future planning. This checking out emotionally phenomenon represents the most critical warning sign. When a woman begins to build emotional walls, she's creating the conditions where cheating becomes possible. She's solving her emotional needs elsewhere while maintaining the structure of the primary relationship. What should men watch for? Pay attention to changes in how she shares her inner world. Notice shifts in how she handles her phone or digital privacy. Watch for unexplained emotional distance, especially after unresolved arguments. Listen for changes in how she talks about the future, shifting from we to I in future plans. Often reveals a significant change in how she sees the relationship. The forgiveness factor. Can a relationship truly recover after someone cheats? This question haunts many couples facing the aftermath of infidelity. The path to recovery involves complex psychological factors that differ significantly between men and women. Research shows that post-infidelity relationship success rates vary by gender. Couples where the woman cheated have a notably lower recovery rate than those where the man strayed. This reflects fundamental differences in how men and women process betrayal and experience forgiveness. These differences connect to what psychologists call respect thresholds, the minimum level of respect each person requires to remain committed. Men often establish respect as a primary relationship foundation. When a woman cheats, it directly undermines this foundation. As one relationship expert explains, it's more of a lack of respect and a lack of fear of losing the relationship. This violation makes rebuilding trust particularly challenging. Women often establish different priorities in their respect thresholds, placing equal or greater emphasis on emotional connection and security. This partly explains why some women can forgive physical cheating without emotional attachment, while finding emotional affairs more threatening to the relationship core. Forgiveness after infidelity resembles trying to reassemble a shattered mirror. Even when pieces are carefully put back together, the cracks remain visible, changing how we see ourselves reflected in the relationship. When a woman forgives a man's infidelity, the relationship dynamics may shift, but his perceived masculinity isn't necessarily diminished. However, when a man forgives a woman's infidelity, it can trigger unintended consequences in attraction. One expert states, "Your inability to understand the importance of reciprocity is what makes you less masculine." This perception connects directly to the type of affair. Physical infidelity sometimes allows couples to compartmentalize the betrayal as a mistake, while emotional affairs signal deeper relationship problems. In men who forgive, this can affect how protective they appear. In evolutionary psychology terms, a partner's ability to establish boundaries signals protection capabilities. Women and men process being forgiven differently too. When a woman is forgiven for infidelity, she may evaluate whether the forgiveness came from strength or weakness. As one expert cautions, when she learns he's willing to accept the unacceptable, she now realizes unacceptable behavior will run with him and therefore there is no motivator to prevent it happening again. This highlights why boundaries must be clearly established alongside forgiveness. Social pressure significantly influences forgiveness decisions. Men often face judgment for staying with unfaithful partners, while women frequently encounter pressure to forgive their partner's infidelity. These external pressures can distort authentic personal choices. For successful reconciliation, self-respect and boundary setting prove critical regardless of gender. The person who was cheated on needs to maintain dignity, while the person who cheated must understand there are real consequences for breaking trust. Understanding the root cause provides crucial context for healing. As one expert points out, when women cheat, it often signals deeper dissatisfaction. There's something in the house that they're just not happy with, and as a result, they will cheat. Forgiveness makes most sense when the cheating partner shows genuine remorse. They take full responsibility without blame shifting. The relationship had a strong foundation before, and both commit to addressing underlying issues. Walking away becomes healthier when cheating has been repeated. The unfaithful partner shows little remorse. Trust feels impossible to rebuild, or staying requires sacrificing fundamental self-respect. The forgiveness journey requires tremendous courage, regardless of which path you choose.